Title: How Websites Work.
A complete guide from front-end to back-end. Welcome to our deep dive into the workings of websites. Today, we're going to explore how websites function from the moment you enter a URL to the back-end processes that handle your requests. Whether you're a budding web developer or just curious about how websites operate, this guide will provide you with a foundational understanding.
1. Introduction to website structure. Websites are made up of several key components that interact with each other to deliver content and services to users.
At its core, a website's structure can be divided into three main parts:
the front end, the back end, and the database. 2.
The front end of a website is everything that you, as a user, can see and interact with directly in your web browser.
This includes everything from the text and buttons to images, sliders, and interactive forms. The front end is built using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML structures the content, CSS styles it, and JavaScript makes it interactive.
When you visit a website, your browser sends a request to the server that hosts the website, asking for the files needed to display the site.
These files are then downloaded and rendered by your browser, presenting the website as intended by its designers. 3. The back end. While the front end is all about what is visible to users, the back end is where the magic happens behind the scenes.
The back end of a website refers to the server-side logic and operations that process incoming requests from users. This part of a website is responsible for executing application logic, interacting with databases, and managing user connections.
Programming languages like Python, Ruby, PHP, and frameworks such as Node.js are commonly used to develop the back end.
When a request is made from the front end, that request is sent to the back end where it is processed.
The back end then performs any necessary actions, such as retrieving, updating, or deleting data in the database. 4.
The database. A database is a crucial component of a website that stores all the data needed by the back end to process user requests.
This data can include user profiles, content, transaction records, and more. Databases can be relational, like MySQL or PostgreSQL, or non-relational, like MongoDB. Whenever information needs to be saved or retrieved, the backend will interact with the database.
For example, when a user logs in, the backend will check the database to verify the user's credentials.
5.
Request flow. To understand how these components work together, let us look at a typical request flow.
User request.
It starts when you perform an action, like clicking a login button.
Server processing. The request is sent to the server, where backend code determines what needs to be done. Database interaction. If the request involves retrieving or storing data, the server interacts with the database. Response.
Once the server has processed the request and interacted with the database as needed, it sends a response back to the front end.
User sees response. The front end then displays the result of that request to you.
This could be displaying a new page, a confirmation message, etc. 6. Login systems. A common feature that utilizes all these components is a login system.
Login systems are critical for verifying user identity and granting access to user-specific data. When you enter your username and password, the front end sends these credentials to the back end. The back end checks the credentials against the stored data in the database.
If the match is successful, the backend will respond with a token or a session ID, which is then used to maintain your logged in state as you navigate the website.
7. Conclusion. Understanding how websites work is fundamental for anyone looking to develop web applications or simply aiming to understand the digital world better.
From the visual elements of the front end to the data handling in the back end and database, each component plays a crucial role in delivering a seamless web experience.
By grasping these concepts, you're better equipped to appreciate the technology behind the web pages you visit or even start creating your own. Thank you for joining this exploration into how websites work. Dive deeper, keep learning, and start building.
This script provides a comprehensive overview of how websites function, ideal for educational content aimed at beginners in web development or curious learners.